back to throw. He's feeling some pressure up the middle and he escapes left. He's going to take it and run it. He has an opening. He's to the 5. He's into the end zone for a touchdown right before halftime. First runs it in for 17 yards. This Friday night, it's the Algona Bulldogs.
Mountain pellet grills.
Algona Plumbing and Heating, where a good flush always beats a full house.
Ruhnke Brothers Full Service. Experience the Ruhnke Brothers difference for all your auto service and repair needs.
Erpelding Voigt & Company CPAs, they're not just about taxes.
Hy-Vee, use the Fuel Saver card. Fill your cart, fuel your car.
North Iowa Appliance Center, Highway 18 East in Algona, where they sell the best and service the rest.
Erpelding Excavating Enterprises. Let them take care of your grading, excavating, and drainage needs.
AK's Chrome Kitchen. When you come in, your family.
All sponsors of this game broadcast. High school sports on Hometown and Home Country Radio are brought to you by these fine sports club members.
Farmers State Bank is proud to be part of our community. Offices in Algona, Whittemore, and West Bend.
Stroman Dental, giving you something to smile about.
Phil's Auto and Truck Repair. Service is the difference.
Trend Salon, your complete family hair salon. It's all about you.
Oakcrest Funeral Services, celebrating a life lived.
Algona Frame and Auto Body, we meet by accident.
Water Connection, from softeners to bottled water and service, call 295-SOFT.
Algona Pizza Ranch, there's so much to love.
Cotton Grave Farm Management and Land Realty in downtown Algona, trusted for farmland service needs since 1960.
Sponsoring this broadcast on Hometown and Home Country Radio.
Let's get it started. It's the Algona Bulldogs and the Clarion Goldfield Dows Cowgirls. High school volleyball North Central Conference style here on Hometown Radio KLGA. The conference implications are huge. Algona with a mere 1-game lead in first place right now. They are 1 game ahead of Clarion, Goldfield Dows, Humboldt, and Webster City. So the Bulldogs look to clinch at least a share of the North Central Conference title with a win tonight, but it won't be easy. It's a Cowgirl team that has dominated the conference for a long time. They've won 3 out of the last 4 conference titles outright and tied for the conference title the year before that stretch. So they're always at the top of the conference. They're just 1 game behind Algona right now, and they're trying to come from behind and shake a couple of early season losses off. And their most recent loss to Iowa Falls Alden as well to put them in the spot 1 game behind Algona. Both teams are wearing very similar uniforms tonight. They both have the base black uniforms, red numbering on the front and back. Algona on the right side, they have the white Algona and the white Bulldogs across the back. Clarion Goldfield Dows with the red Cowgirls on the back. The serve by Clarion Goldfield Dows goes into Algona's back row, and we are underway. Jensen setting up an early McLaughlin attack, but it is in for a point. Almost think McLaughlin might have pulled that wide at first, but Algona draws first blood here and goes up 1-0 off the Lauren McLaughlin kill. Algona 10-9 overall in the season. Clarion Goldfield Dows at 12-15 as the Bulldogs get the serve for the first time tonight. It'll be Casey Van Otterloo going back for Algona, sizing up the Clarion Goldfield Dows defense. Van Otterloo walks up and serves it towards the back row. It's taken back there by the Cowgirls. They get it up front to Askelson. Attacked by Elliott Ennis. It's tipped to the net, but it'll go over for a point. Algona couldn't block that one, and Elliott Ennis picks up the kill to tie it up at 1 apiece. So far this season, 125 kills by Elliott Ennis. She leads the Cowgirls and also leads them in blocks as well, so she will be a big factor in tonight's matchup. As Claire Kirstein is back to serve. The sophomore wearing jersey number 7, Kirstein, low serve. Oh, a diving dig by Macy Knapp, but then no one can make the second contact. Knapp did a nice job just getting a hand underneath, popping that up in the air, but kind of landed in no man's land. Still a good effort, though, but an ace makes it 2-1 Clarion Goldfield Dows, serving from left to right on your radio dial. It's Kirstein again, the sophomore, knuckleball towards Van Otterloo, makes initial contact. Bulldogs in a tough spot, and they won't get it back over. That was not a good initial pass coming off the hands of Van Otterloo. I think that serve had a little more English than she thought. She was just able to kind of shoot it straight up into the air, and then Bulldogs had to send someone all the way back to go track that down. Really, right where Van Otterloo was. That pass went nowhere near the front rows. Van Otterloo gets the serve, gets it up to Jensen. McLaughlin from the middle, taps it over. Oh, a nice diving dig, though, by Clarion Goldfield Dows as they save it and get it back over to Algona. Jensen sending it up, Van Tiger, tough angle. Got across court and got it off the red paint. Oh, a kill for Lainey Van Tiger by the skin of her teeth. Game of inches there as that hits the line on the far side, and that'll make it 3-2. Clarion Goldfield Dows up by Algona over 1. Bulldogs get the serve back, and they get Kirstein off the line.
Ashley Cantu.
Bulldogs will have Cantu in the front row. Paige Schmidt coming in to serve for Algona. Schmidt, the sophomore, wearing jersey number 3. Bulldogs have the red stripes down the arms and side of the jersey as Schmidt serves it a little bit short. It's into the back row. Played initially by Askvig. Attack by Ennis, and she puts it down. About 12 feet deep on the Algona side there, right into the center, and that will make it 4-2 Clarion Goldfield Dows here in set number 1. Cowgirls won the North Central Conference last year. They went 24-4 overall. Had a surprising 3-1 loss against Iowa Falls all on September 28th as one of their conference losses, as here comes an ace by Clarion Goldfield Dows. It was a diving attempt by Van Otterloo in the back row, but that ball shot off her hands and out of bounds over to the right. Early 5-2 advantage for the Cowgirls as Addie Askelson, the senior, will serve. From the near side, Askelson sends it into the Algona back row. Knapp makes initial contact. Schmidt sets it up for Cantu, angles the back corner, but it's played by the libero, Indy Johnson. Tapped into the net, though, by Clarion Goldfield Dows on third contact. Fries Leben could not get it over, and that'll make it 5-3. Cowgirls on top of the Bulldogs. Macy Knapp wearing the red libero jersey for Algona. She is back to serve right now. Knapp running up and jump serving towards the back row. Johnson passing it up to the front for the Cowgirls. Tapped over the net. Avoids the Bulldog block attempt, but nicely backed up by Paige Schmidt. Van Tiger out of bounds, hits it over the net back to the Cowgirls. Here's the setup by Askelson. Tough angle for the attack, and Bulldogs do a nice job jigging it out. The left-handed attack by Kennedy Jackson. Now Cantu, free ball into the back row. Almost was heading out, but Johnson was able to get the dig. Tipped over the net by Ennis. Oh, a nice play by Algona to keep that one alive. Cantu, big swing the other way, but just out of bounds. Just missed that baseline as that'll go to the Cowgirls and make it 6-3. Long volley that time. Not a whole lot of attacks either side. We saw a few free balls going over. Team's not necessarily getting great position there on either side there for that last volley as Ennis the low serve. Dug out by Algona. Ball is near the net. Tapped back over by Cowgirls. Van Tiger able to dig it out. The two-handed push back to the Cowgirls side by Van Otterloo. Askelson setting far side. Right-handed swing blocked to the net. As Friesleben couldn't put it down. Friesleben tries again and sends it into the back row to Knapp on the Algona side. Schmidt to Van Tiger. Van Tiger for the Algona attack, and she gets the kill. Hit it off of Ennis's knuckles in the center of that back row. That will make it 6-4. Clarion Goldfield Dows right now leading Algona by 2. Lainey Van Tiger back to serve. Reagan Haynes into the Algona front row. It's Haynes, Price, and Cantu across the front as there's a miss hit by Lainey Van Tiger. A rare service error. That one nowhere near the net, and the Cowgirls go up 7-4. Van Tiger had a 97% efficiency coming into tonight. 160 out of her 165 serves going into play, but that is just her 6th error of the season serving-wise. So make it 7-4 Cowgirls. Lions will serve. Bulldogs almost overpassed. Schmidt bumps into Van Tiger. Got it to Price, though. Price the tap and the kill. Oh, Nosley Price, with great vision, found that soft spot opening up. And that'll make it 7-5. Bulldogs back down by 2 here. Jensen back into the ball game for Algona. Cantu to the bench. Ryan Haynes coming in, and Schmidt going to the bench. So the two Hayneses in the front row, along with Nosley Price for Algona. As Jensen walks back to serve. Serves a knuckleball near side. Initial contact by Lions. Into the middle, tapped over by Blair Askelson. Bulldogs in scramble mode, and they will not get this one back over. Algona will run out of hits. That will make it 8-5. Clarion Goldfield Dows continuing to lead here in the first set. The Cowgirl 2 North Central Conference losses this season with a surprising 3-1 loss to Iowa Falls Alden on September 28th. They also lost to Humboldt back on September 5th. As here's a far side attack by Price. Hits it into the back row. Ball's off the ceiling. Oh, heads up play, though, by Friesleben to keep it alive. As the Cowgirls get it to the Algona back row. Short set to Price. Price with the hammer and the sweet finish. Big time velocity off the hand of Nosley Price that time. She picks up the kill, and it's 8-6. Clarion Goldfield Dows on top of Algona. Kill number 2 by Nosley Price. And now she's back to serve for the Bulldogs. Price serves near side. Oh, that one was in. Yes, it was. She kept it inside the line. A little bit of a miss hit, it looked like, by Price. Almost looked like she approached that line too quickly and tried to pull up there a little bit and take something off that, but kept it just inside the sideline along the near side, and that'll make it 8-7. Price Serves towards the Cowgirl back row. Askelson makes initial contact. Friesleben back to Askelson. Cross-court attack, and she puts it down. Tipped it off the tape, and that far side of the court was open for Algona. You can't cover everywhere, and that cross-court attack is a hard one to get in the right spot, but that is exactly what Askelson did to make it 9-7 Cowgirls. The libero, Indy Johnson, serves. That one is long and out the back row. Give one back to the Bulldogs, make it 9-8. Van Otterloo coming in, Haynes to the bench. Reagan Haynes will take a seat. Van Otterloo just under 96% serving efficiency this season. Serves it low into the back row. Ennis will tap it over the net back to Algona. Van Tiger makes initial contact. Jensen short sets McLaughlin. McLaughlin almost hammered it home, but Cowgirls deflecting the balls on the ceiling. Johnson trying to get the free ball over, and they do. Haynes up to Jensen. Jensen accidentally put it over the net, and the Cowgirls tap it back to Algona. Pushed over by Van Otterloo. Ball on the Cowgirls side right now. Here's a tip over by Askelson. Van Tiger able to save it. Jensen back to Van Tiger. The hammer, the block, the deflection by the Bulldogs, and the free ball over the net by McLaughlin. Back to the far side of the court. Johnson up front to Frieseben. The hammer by Ennis. Touched by Knapp in the back row for Algona. They keep it alive. And the push back over by Van Otterloo. Now can the Cowgirls attack? Johnson from behind the attack line. Sends it down the line to Knapp. Jensen sending it up. McLaughlin hammers. Can't put it down though. Dug by the Cowgirls once again. Askelson angles across court. Oh, and that one stayed in. Jensen backed off, but Askelson kept it in. It's 10-8 Clarion Goldfield Dows. A hard-fought momentum-changing point right there as the Cowgirls get the serve back and go up by 2, 10-8 here in set number 1. Those are just killers if you're on the defensive side who gives up the point on that one. 10-8, long serve. Knapp plays it just in case. Jensen sets for McLaughlin. Her attack is blocked, and the Bulldogs won't get it back over. Elliott Ennis of the block. 11-8, Clarion Goldfield Dows. Ennis had 80 blocks coming into tonight, leading both the Cowgirls and the North Central Conference. Cowgirls back up by 3 right now as Ennis gets the block. Kirstein serving. Van Otterloo makes initial contact. Jensen sending it up for Van Tiger. Flings it into the back row. Johnson up to the front. Second contact dump over by Friesleben, but the Bulldogs are ready for it. McLaughlin attacks, but it's out of bounds towards the far side. And a 4-point Cowgirl lead right now in set number 1, 12-8. Bulldogs are getting off some good attacks here, but just having trouble putting it down. Cowgirls with a lot of good digs so far, and a couple wayward attacks out of bounds as well by the Bulldogs. Right now, a free ball over the net by Knapp into the Cowgirl back row. Kirstein makes initial contact. Attack by Askelson into the back row, and this is going to be an Algona point. It did not stay in between the posts. Cowgirls are a little confused there, but it'll go to the Bulldogs and make it 12-9. And some subs coming in, Cantu and Schmidt back in for Algona. Aspig in for Kirstein for Clarion Goldfield Dows.
Schmidt to serve.
And Paige Schmidt walking back to serve for the Bulldogs. Schmidt with 14 aces coming into tonight. Third on the Algona team as she serves from the near side. Gets it into the back row of Cowgirl defenders. Back set to Ennis, and Ennis hammers it home. Did a nice job angling that, just enough to avoid the block attempt by McLaughlin and Van Tiger, just off the side of Van Tiger's hands. Nice job by Ennis. Good directional hitting there and makes it 13-9. Cowgirls on top, Addie Askelson, the senior. Diving save by Knapp off a really good serve, and Cantu hits it back over to the Cowgirl side. Cowgirl scrambling a little bit here. Johnson has to punch it over the net. Gets it to Van Otterloo on the Bulldog side. Schmidt, short set McLaughlin. McLaughlin the hammer. Oh, and that one stayed in. Close call that time, but McLaughlin kept it just inside the paint along the far side of the court. 13-10, Bulldogs really testing out that far side, about 10 to 15 feet deep on the court. They've aimed for that spot a lot so far tonight. Had a couple misses, a couple makes. That one was a successful attack by McLaughlin as it's 13-10. Cowgirls still leading. Knapp with the jump serve. That one's coming near side, and that one is pulled out of bounds. 14-10, Clarion Goldfield Dows. Algona just in that 2 to 4 point deficit for most of this first set. Now it's Ennis. Knuckleball serve towards Van Otterloo. Passes to Schmidt. Back set Van Tiger. Big swing. Ball's in the ceiling. And the Cowgirls won't get this one back over. Ennis made initial contact. Ball hit one of those support beams up in the ceiling. Kind of shot back down. And the Cowgirls really couldn't do anything on second contact. So much needed point for Algona. Big time here in set number 1. 14-11. Clarion Goldfield Dows as Van Tiger's back to serve. Serving near side to Jackson. In the middle, pushed over lightly by Friesleben. Bulldogs able to save it. Van Tiger from the near side hits it into the center of the court, and a point for Algona. A lift called against Clarion Goldfield Dows, and the Bulldogs able to rip off back-to-back points here. So 14-12, Clarion Goldfield Dows still on top right now. As the serve by Van Tiger is an ace. Picked a good time to serve it short. Got it over the front row. Hit that red attack line pretty much. And the back row players, specifically Kennedy Jackson, couldn't get up quickly in time to save that one and read it off of Van Tiger's serve. So 14-13, Algona down by 1, and here's another ace. We're tied. That one targeting Askvig on the other side of the back row, but Askvig couldn't decide if to play that overhand or underhand. Went for the overhand, and that did not appear to be the right decision. The serve into the center to Indy Johnson, passing up front. Tapped over by the Cowgirls as Askelson set up Askelson that time. Here's Price. Oh, tipped it over, but a diving dig by Indy Johnson. That saved a point for Clarion Goldfield Dows, so they get it back over. Price tips the attack of the net. Bulldogs keep it alive for Cantu. From behind the attack line, gets it back over to the Cowgirls. Here's the setup for Friesleben. Big attack, but way too long. Algona has the lead, 15-14. They were up 1-0, and they had fallen behind after that point, but now Algona pulls ahead here in the first set. Quick run, 5-0 by the Bulldogs. Van Tiger serves near side. Askelson sends back to Johnson. Johnson deep attack, blocked back by Price, and the Cowgirls cannot get it over the net. There was one final desperation heave by Kennedy Jackson. Her whole momentum was taking her into her own bench, and almost got that one back over with the free ball and almost kept it between the posts, but just a little bit too short. Ball rippled into the net. 16-14 Algona, and a good timeout right now by Clarion Goldfield Dows, not wanting this first set to slip away on the road. Cowgirls did a nice job coming out early, getting the lead on the road, getting consistent points, and not letting Algona have the big run, but this is that big run right now. 6-0 if my memory serves me. Clarion Goldfield Dows is up 14-10. Now it's 16-14 Algona. The Bulldogs are 4-1 in the conference. Their only slip-up was actually their conference opener against Clear Lake. Right behind them, Humboldt is 3-2 as Humboldt lost to Webster City, and a surprising loss to St. Edmund, who's 5-14 so far this season. Humboldt may live to regret that loss against St. Edmund earlier this year. Webster City's 3-2 as well. They lost to both Algona and Iowa Falls Alden. And Clarion Goldfield Dows is 3-2. They lost to Humboldt and Iowa Falls Alden. So the Cadets have been a spoiler for a couple of teams. They are 8-19 this season, 2-3 in the conference, but they had two big ones, knocking off both Webster City and Clarion Goldfield Dows to put those two teams one match behind Algona in the standings. Bulldogs were able to defeat the Cadets earlier this year 3-1, but that was a pretty hard-fought win here inside the Bulldog Gymnasium. As Van Tiger is on a roll right now, serves to Indy Johnson. Askelson gets it over to Friesleben, pushing it to the Algona side. Schmidt short set, hammer by Price, but it's into the net. Bulldogs try to throw a little eye candy there at the Clarion Goldfield Downs defense, setting up Price on one side, Cantu on the other, having them both jump up. But that Price attack just went into the net, and it's 16-15 off the attack here by Algona. Bulldogs up by 1. Lions back to serve, the Clarion Goldfield Downs senior. Knapp makes initial contact. Price will make that Van Tiger. Tries to hammer. Looks like that's Haynes, I beg your pardon. We'll get it on this third one. Haynes tried to hammer it over, but this will be tied up at 16 as the Bulldogs run out of hits. So Lions is back again, 16-16 tie. Serve far side to Van Tiger, short set Schmidt. Price into the back row of Clarion Goldfield Dows. And now it's tapped lightly over the block attempt. Van Tiger there to back it up for Algona. Schmidt, high ball to Haynes, cross court. Over to Johnson on the Cowgirl side. Askelson setting it up for Kirstein. Kirstein almost got that one down, but the Bulldogs got it back over. Knapp of an amazing dig in the Algona back row. Cowgirls try to attack again. It's blocked. Point Algona. 4 hits for the Cowgirls, 17-16 for the Bulldogs. That was a really, really good defensive possession by Algona. The great dig by Macy Knapp, the good block attempt at the net as well. And then ultimately the 4 hits called against Clarion Goldfield Dows as now Algona's back up by 1, 17-16. Jensen, a twisting serve towards Johnson in the back row. The back set for the Cowgirls, the attack by Askelson, but it's blocked. Nosley Price, a big rejection, and Algona's up 18-16. Blair Askelson, the freshman, getting a lot of playing time for that Cowgirl front row, but met the 6'2" Nosley Price defending the Algona front row that time as the serve's coming near side to Lions. Ball staying in the back row right now. It's pushed over the net by the Cowgirls. Haynes makes initial contact. Jensen near side to Haynes. Big hammer blocked. Bulldogs keep it alive though. Jensen to Price. Price little tap over and she got it. Nosley Price did a great job staying out of the net, using that offhand and just tipping it over the net with a block attempt in her face as well. Algona with a 3-point lead, their largest of the set, 19-16. Short serve, Jensen, there's an ace. Oh man, Lions waited back on her heels that time. She could have taken one power step up to try to dig that one, but waited back, misjudged the depth of that serve, and there's a big time ace for Jensen. 20-16 in favor of Algona as Andy Jensen, the junior, getting a big time ace. So Bulldogs trying to finish off this first set. 20-16, Clarion Goldfield Dows will take another timeout here, down by 4. Again, that first set, such a cliche, but that is the tone setter. Clarion Goldfield Dows have a chance to take the momentum away on the road, but they've let Algona have a huge run here to get back in front. Algona went on a 6-0 run initially. That run has extended into a 10-2 scoring run right now for the Bulldogs, so Algona has kept the foot on the gas right now in set number 1. But Algona's starting to play some really good defense. A lot of times when you look at Algona, you see some of those big-time hitters. You see Price with some impressive kills and Van Tiger as well. But really, I'm going to say the defense for Algona has been a key so far. Macy Knapp doing a great job in the back row, defending, getting a couple of diving digs to save points for Algona, and some great blocks at the net as well. Najee Price doing a great job defending the front row for the Bulldogs right now. So the defense so far has showed up in set number 1. 20-16, Algona on top, set number 1. Here on Hometown Radio at KLGA Algona, 92.7 FM as Johnson makes initial contact off the serve. The pass will guide Kirstein out of bounds, but she got the free ball over to Algona. The setup, the hammer by Price. Oh, that ball caught Johnson more than she caught it, but she still popped it up in the air. And this is going to be a point for the Cowgirls. How did they get that one? They got the ball over to Kirstein. She spun it off the block attempt, and there's a point. Boy, that ball initially went back to the Cowgirls side. That one pretty much hit Johnson in the chest, but she somehow guided that pass to a front row player, and the Cowgirls make something out of nothing. They are down by 3 right now. Knapp up to Jensen. Price, the big-time hammer and the big-time finish. Had Lions like a deer in the headlights in the back row, and Price puts it down to make it 21-17. 4 kills tonight by Najee Price. Came into tonight leading Algona with 132 kills. That's 4 from the North Central, so she adds to that, and now she's serving. Askelson makes initial contact. Johnson floats it over from behind the attack line. Price to Van Tiger, pushing it over from 15 feet deep, sends it into the Clarion Goldfield Dows back row. Here's the attack the other way by Kirstein, and the kill. Saw Price a little bit off the line in that back row, and was able to pull that over to Price's right, made the diving attempt, but not able to reach out to that ball, and it's 21-18. Clarion Goldfield Dows is down by 3 right now. Hanging around here in the first set, but needing a big run as Indy Johnson serves near side. Van Tiger with the overpass, tapped over by the Cowgirls, and that's a point. Elliot Ennis taking advantage of the overpass, and it's 21-19, and did a nice job that time. Sometimes when you see the overpass coming, the tendency is just to want to hammer it home with a huge kill, but that was a better job really by Ennis just to guide it over the net where the Algona defense was a little bit weaker. Van Tiger makes initial contact off the serve. McLaughlin hitting into the back row over to Lyons. The setup for Ennis, the hammer, but the attack is too long. It is out of bounds. Point for the Bulldogs, 22-19. Algona is up by 3 right now. Ennis going for the big kill, but unable to find it. And Casey Van Otterloo right now back to serve for the Bulldogs. Second on the team with 19 aces coming into tonight. Serves it short. Almost an ace. It's an overpass instead. Van Tiger almost stuffed it back over, but the Cowgirls somehow kept it alive and got it to the Bulldog back row. McLaughlin now attacks, pushing it into the center of the Cowgirl court. Johnson to the near side to Askelson, and that ball is going to be a Bulldog point. Askelson couldn't keep it in between the posts, and Algona with a huge point to go up 23-19 in the first set and keep Casey Van Otterloo serving. The Bulldog Jr. teeing up the serve. Line drives it into the back row. It deflects sideways. Cowgirls will just have to get something over the net, and they can't do it. Oh, Fries Lebenov just went with the overhand swing at that ball from behind the attack line. I think that was a situation just to go for the free ball and live to fight another day, but she hit it into the net. Here is set point. Van Otterloo to the back row. Fries Lebenov up to the front. The second contact hit by Clarion Goldfield Dows doesn't go down. The Bulldogs do a great job defending that, and McLaughlin gets the kill. Back to the net from that front row. I don't know how she saw where the opening was in the court, but she somehow found it with her back to the net and no vision of the Cowgirl defense. Whether that was on purpose or just a happy accident, it works out for McLaughlin, and Algona takes the first set 25-19. We'll step aside for a quick timeout. Set number 2 coming up from the Algona High School Gymnasium next on Hometown Radio KLGA.
We've got more sports club members making this broadcast possible on Hometown and Home Country Radio.
Algona Livestock, sales every Monday.
Countryside Barbecue Sauce, 2 sauces for all seasons.
Farm and Home Services, view their listings at farmhomeservices.com.
Holmes Animal Clinic, animals large and small, they love them all.
Style Salon, your salon in Algona. Create yourself.
Dance Connection and Tumbling by Michelle. Passionate about teaching, creative about dance. Visit their studio or danceconnectionbymichelle.com.
Tape Wellness Center in Algona and Armstrong, keeping athletes in the game with chiropractic care. Take charge of your health.
Signworks for all of your signage needs, as well as printed shirts, caps, and jackets. Stop in or call 295-9544.
Down to Earth Tree Service, your local Algona tree service.
Sports club members bringing you this game.
Are you tired of listening to high school football that sounds like this?
Number 3 throws the ball to number 11 as he'll make a gain on the play.
Then tune in at 6 every Friday night on Hometown and Home Country Radio.
Takes the snap, look at the throw. Steps up, looking deep down the middle. He's got a man behind the defense. It's Caden Weber. Makes the catch at the 2-yard line.
Furch back to throw. He's feeling some pressure up the middle and he escapes left. He's going to take it and run it. He has an opening. He's to the 5. He's into the end zone for a touchdown right before halftime. Furch runs it in for 17 yards. This Friday night, it's the Algona Bulldogs against the Humboldt Wildcats on KLGA and the Bishop Garrigan Golden Bears against the GTRA Titans on KLGZ. We welcome you back inside the Algona Bulldog High School Gymnasium, where the Bulldogs took the first set over the Clarion Goldfield Dows Cowgirls, 25-19. The serve is off for the second set, and we are underway. Elliott Ennis the attack, blocked right back at her by the Algona Bulldogs. Lauren McLaughlin with the block. 1-0 Algona to start off the second set. Bulldogs were down 14-10 in the first set, went on a 6-0 run, and they extended that big run all the way through the end of the set to win it 25-19. Algona trying to improve to 5-1 in the conference. Askelson tips it over the net. It's near the net. Oh, Jensen somehow got that over without touching the net. That was nearly a net violation, but she somehow contorted to avoid it. Now Knapp up to Jensen, setting it up. McLaughlin hammers, but she pulled it wide. Pulled that too far over to the left, and that will tie it up at 1 apiece. Cowgirls have Kirstine at number 7 back to serve right now, leading the team with a 94% efficiency, 160 out of her 170 serves this season coming into tonight in play. As Van Tiger attacks from the near side. Oh, the big stuff by Elliott Ennis. Point for Clarion Goldfield Dows on her block. That will make it 2-1. Second or third time we've seen Ennis have one like that tonight. So Cowgirls go up to the 1. Kirstine, the sophomore, twisting serve back to Knapp in the back row. Jensen short set. McLaughlin tries to hammer, blocked again, but this time the Bulldogs are able to dig it out. They get it back over to the Cowgirls. Now from the far side, Askelson tries to hammer. Tipped to the net by McLaughlin for Algona. And now it's pushed over by Van Tiger towards the back row. Kirstine overpasses into the net and a point for Algona. That might have been heading out of bounds, but Kirstine saw it as a borderline play, went for it, and that initial touch went into the net. So that'll tie it up at 2 apiece. Algona and Clarion Goldfield Dows here in set number 2. As the Bulldogs will get the serve back. Paige Schmidt coming in, and she's heading back to serve. Schmidt, of course, great setter for Algona. 4 from the North Central on assists coming into tonight at 274. Good serving as well. She serves back to Johnson. The Cowgirl libero, attacked by Ennis. It sits on the tape. It goes back to the Cowgirl side, and the Cowgirls run out of hits. Not a perfect set for Ennis that time. Had to twist just a little bit to reach that one and try to hit it flush. And hit that into the top of the tape as it stayed on the Cowgirl side to make it 3-2 Algona. Schmidt setting up on the near side of the service area. Lobs one over. It's a little short. Dug in the back row by Askvig. Attack will go down for Clarion Goldfield Dows. That is Ennis picking up another kill. It is a 3-3 tie right now. Clarion Goldfield Dows and Algona. Cowgirls graduated 3 of their top 4 kill leaders from last year. As here comes an ace. Ace for the Clarion Goldfield Dows Cowgirls. It's Addie Askelson picking that one up. Came into tonight 3rd in the North Central of 28 assists. And that'll make it 4-3 Cowgirls as Askelson steps back again. Rocket serve to the back row. Dug by Van Tiger. Schmidt back setting for McLaughlin. Somehow snuck that one over the net, but a nice diving dig in the front row for the Cowgirls. That's an attack the other way by Friesleben. Bulldogs stave it off. Attack by Van Tiger goes into the net from the near side, and Cowgirls go up 5-3. Well, there's a lot of velocity on the serve here by Askelson. Right hands it over the net. Van Otterloo makes initial contact. Schmidt to the near side to Cantu, but Cantu is blocked.
Point. Bulldogs.
Oh, check that. That's going to be a point for the Bulldogs. I beg your pardon. Thought there was going to be a block there at first for the Cowgirls, but that'll be a point for Algona. That'll make it 5-4 as the Cowgirls are up by 1. Long serve by Knapp and an ace. Into the back row, had Johnson backpedaling a little bit. That ball was in the gray area in between Johnson and Askvig in the back row. 5-5 tie, Knapp jump serving. A little bit short this time. Dug out by Friesleban, attacked by Ennis. Oh, and a nice big Casey Van Otterloo heading to her right for Algona. The right-handed tap over by Van Tiger, but it's stuffed back by Ennis. Ennis saw that coming from a mile away, timed her jump perfectly, and that little floater over the net goes back the other way to make it 6-5 Clarion Goldfield Dows. Ennis showing some great anticipation in the front row. Now she serves. Knapp makes initial contact. Van Tiger swings and she puts it down. 6-6 tie. Lainey Van Tiger picking up the kill. Van Tiger of 86 kills coming into tonight, second on the team. She'll tie it at 6, and now she'll head back to serve. Now Van Tiger was serving during that 6-0 run for Algona in set 1. Helped the Bulldogs go on that huge run of nice serving. Askelson setting it in the middle for Friesleban. Friesleban is blocked by Najli Price. This time it's the Bulldogs' turn to throw a block at the Cowgirls. And Algona goes up 7-6 here in the second set. Van Tiger again serves into the center of the back row to Johnson. Passing up to Askelson. Back sets, but a point by Algona. 2 hits called against Askelson. And Algona with an 8-6 lead right now. Quick little spurt here early in set number 2. Bulldogs 10-9 so far this season. Cowgirls 12-15, but more importantly, Algona 1 game ahead in the conference standings. This here's an overpass, flushed back over by Najli Price as she hammers the ball into the hardwood. Didn't have to take a full swing that time, but the overpass, everyone out of position on the Cowgirl defense, not expecting the overpass, of course, and Price taking advantage to make it 9-6 Algona. Askelson in the front, back sets. The attack won't go down by Jackson as he tried to spin it home, put some good English on it though. Askelson to the far side, Friesleban, blocked by Price, and another point for Algona. Najli Price just continues to be a menace against the Cowgirls in the front row, blocking attack after attack. Also with 5 kills so far tonight as well, and forcing a Cowgirl timeout here. 10-6 Algona. So nice run here by the Bulldogs. I believe this is another 6-0 run by Algona right now, much like it was in set number 1, and some early momentum here in set number 2. But as we said, Cowgirls won the North Central Conference last year. Bulldogs are trying to flip that around this year and win it themselves. Cowgirls graduated 6 seniors from last year's team. That was a really, really good 24-4 Cowgirl squad. Algona graduated 5 seniors from their team last year. Now, when these two teams matched up last season, it was a quick 3-0 sweep over the Clarion Goldfield Dows High School Gymnasium. The Cowgirls defeated the Bulldogs 25-13, 25-19, and 25-19. Really took the air out of Algona early, took what was a big conference match and turned it into a sweep. And Algona trying to reverse that here tonight. First set was very competitive, but it went to the Bulldogs, and now here in set number 2, Algona looking good after a couple tough early moments. Cowgirls will wrap the timeout down to our left and await the Lainey Van Tiger serve as she waits back in the service area down to our right. 10-6 Algona. Van Tiger, end over end serve into the back row, sends it tumbling to Johnson. Askelson to the far side, Friesleban. Her attack tipped the net. A diving save by Knapp in the back row, and the Bulldogs are able to get the free ball off over the net. Johnson up front to Askelson. Back setting this time, left-handed attack. Kirstein can't put it down though, and the Bulldogs set something up for themselves. Cantu punches it over. Askelson for the Cowgirls, setting it up. Friesleban, big right-handed swing, but dug out in the back row by Van Tiger. And now Haynes will hit it over the net, right down the line along the near side. Johnson pops it up in the air, pushed over by Friesleban. Oh, she found the opening, and that's going to be a point for Clarion Goldfield Dows. A lift is called against Algona, nearly saved it there, but that lift is going to give that point to the Cowgirls and make it 10-7.
Number 7, Christie.
But that is a hard-fought point by the Cowgirls. That's one where the Bulldogs made them work for it, and we'll see if the Cowgirls can take advantage of getting that hard-fought point here for Lions serving. Knuckleball servers in the back corner to Van Tiger. Short set by Schmidt, getting it to Price, and Price able to float it home for the kill. Najli Price is very good at picking her spots, knows when to really go for the huge swing and knows when to float it over and try to play the gaps on defense. And Price that time found a gap, got the kill, makes it 11-7. 6 kills right now from Najli Price. The Algona senior is, now it's Jensen. Short serve towards the near side, dug by Lions. The back set towards Askelson. Overpass by Algona. Johnson makes initial contact. Askelson setting the attack to the far side. Tapped over the net by Kirstein, and that one is heading out of bounds. Point for Algona, 12-7. Cowgirls miss an opportunity off the Bulldog overpass. And Algona up by 5 right now in the second set, 12-7. Jensen curves her serve over towards the near side. Ball's near the ceiling, and it's bumped over the net by the Cowgirls' Kirstein. Jensen sets it up for Price. Oh, the offhanded tap over the net, but a nice dig by Askelson for the Cowgirls, and Lyons able to punch it into the Bulldog back row. Jensen sets it up. Price, the big hammer this time, but that is just out of bounds. She missed that back near corner by a couple of inches, and the Cowgirls get a much-needed point, 12-8. But these last two Cowgirl points have required multiple attacks. Really hard work by the Cowgirls. They are fighting and sweating for every point here at the Bulldog Gymnasium as Van Tiger overpasses, and this is going to be a point for Algona. That initial pass led Jensen into the net, tried to avoid it, but she must have tipped it up front as the referee along the far side had a good angle of it, and that'll make it 12-9. Cowgirls down by 3. Serve goes to Van Tiger in the back row. Price floating it over the block attempt, and she got it. Along the far side of the court, two Cowgirls went up to the net to block that. Price able to keep that one right in between the front row and the back row. And she continues to pile up kills. Already 7 as we play about midway here through the second set. 13-9 Algona. Price serves. Johnson digs for Clarion Goldfield. Dows, and now Johnson mishits the third touch. Johnson made the initial touch. They passed it back to Johnson. Didn't really have a whole lot of opportunity there for an attack. And a miss hit by Johnson makes it 14-9 Algona. Lyons passing up front to Friesleben. Right-handed swing, Kirstein, and it's out of bounds. Aiming for the back row, near side, and she missed it. 15-9 Algona right now. Najlee Price serves from the near side. Jump serve, it's low, dug by Lyons. It deflects sideways. Kirstein gets it over to Askelson, the two-handed push over the net, and the Bulldogs are ready for it. Haynes attacks, blocked in the net. McLaughlin keeps it alive for the Bulldogs. Now Jensen setting it for Haynes. Haynes, the right-handed hammer, can't put it down as it got tipped. And now Johnson floats it over the block attempt. Diving dig by Jensen for the Bulldogs. Haynes makes the second contact, but that ball's going away, and it's going out of bounds. Cowgirls get another hard-fought point, and it's 15-10 in favor of Algona as Clarion Goldfield Dows gets the serve back. Johnson back to serve. She's almost all the way out in the hallway. She takes a long approach and jump serves from deep into the back row to Van Tiger. Jensen sending out McLaughlin. Angles the cross-court attack to Johnson. Good pass up to the front. Oh, and almost a diving save there by the Cowgirls. They kept it alive after a near disaster. McLaughlin hammers the net, and she wipes it off the block attempt for a point to make it 16-10. That looked like a good initial pass there by Johnson on the Cowgirl attack, but then in the front row there was some hesitation as Friesleben was late getting over to the ball. Now Van Otterloo serves down to our right. Twisting serve, low serve, overpass, and the flush by Van Tiger. Lyons is frustrated in the Cowgirl back row. She knows she made a mistake there as the timeout is called, and Algona all of a sudden, in the blink of an eye, is up 17-10. Boy, they have really taken the air out of Clarion Goldfield Dows here in the second set after winning the first set 25-19. But the Algona fans getting into it. It's too bad the Bulldogs student section didn't show up for such a big night. Oh no, wait a minute, just running Camo down to our right. Didn't see Lemaire at first. Big student section as usual here at Algona High School. Crowd enjoying an early lead here in this North Central Conference matchup as the Algona Bulldogs look for North Central Conference win number 5 of the year and try to stay in first place in the conference. Coming up, Algona just has a couple of matches left in the regular season. They face Bishop Garrigan in the Crosstown game on Tuesday night. That'll be at home. They will visit Humboldt on Thursday, that short trip to Humboldt, and then they will host a home tournament on Saturday the 14th, and that'll be it. That'll be curtains for the regular season, and they'll start the postseason on October 17th with a road trip over to Estherville Lincoln Central. The second year in a row that Algona will face Estherville Lincoln Central in that regional quarterfinal round, the opening round of the Class 3A postseason. That'll be a big-time test for Algona, but first, trying to attend to some North Central Conference business and to win the conference title. Algona's last conference title was 2010. They finished 33-5 that year and at 9-0 in the North Central. Cowgirls setting up the attack. The hammer by Kirstein doesn't go down, on the point for the Cowgirls. The Bulldogs go into the net, 17-11. And yes, 2010, Algona was 9-0 in the North Central because back then, Bishop Garrigan and Eagle Grove, now top of Iowa West members, were both in the North Central. As the serve goes into the back row, ball's up, almost went into the basketball hoop, and it deflects back down to Algona as Haynes gets the free ball over the net. Johnson passing it up to the front. Here's the setup, left-handed attack by Kirstein, way long and out of bounds. Or check that, that's Kennedy Jackson, I beg your pardon, in the front row. 18-11 Algona, keeping the foot on the gas pedal here in set number 2. And Macy Knapp waiting back right now to serve.
Schmidt to serve.
Actually, check that, that'll be Paige Schmidt. Knapp will hand the ball off to Schmidt. Schmidt centers the ball to Johnson in the Cowgirl back row. Askelson sets it up, a light tip over by Ennis, but played by Van Otterloo. Cantu from the far side, cross-court attack into the back row, popped straight up in the air. Johnson now to the near side to Jackson, pushing it over the net back to Algona. Schmidt short set, McLaughlin the hammer, it's blocked. McLaughlin pops back up in the air, now Schmidt gets it near side of Van Tiger. The hammer, but the block. Elliot Ennis blocks another one. That's a big-time block, and that'll make it 18-12. McLaughlin with a full head of steam, but Ennis able to contest at the net. Cowgirls still down by 6 as Addie Askelson's back to serve. Askelson twisting serve, Van Otterloo lets that go, but that'll be an ace. An ace served by Addie Askelson, and that'll make it 18-14. Clarion Goldfield Dows a few points in a row here, trying to make that final stand here in set 2 and avoid going down 2-0. Askelson again, Van Tiger passes to Schmidt, Schmidt to Cantu, hits it into the back row of the Cowgirls, and now bumped over the net by Ennis. Schmidt setting it up in the center, McLaughlin, the big hammer on the finish. Some sweet English by Lauren McLaughlin, putting some crazy spin on that ball, and no chance to block it by Ennis because that ball just shot sideways off the block attempt. 19-13, big point for Algona. Lauren McLaughlin, third on the team in kills with 83 coming into tonight. Picking up a few here as Knapp nearly had an ace. Deflected in the back row by the Cowgirls as Friesleben hits towards the back row, but it's long, about a foot long and out of bounds as Friesleben can't find the mark. And it's 20-13 Algona in set number 2. Knapp jump serving, it's a knuckleball to the back row. Ball guides Ennis out of bounds. And now it's tapped lightly over the net by Askvig, and that'll work out. Askvig found the open spot in the Algona defense. And that turned something into nothing for the Cowgirls. That looked like that was just going to be a wasted possession, but good directional opportunity but there by Askvig to make it 20-14. So Askvig with the point. Bulldogs have Price attacking and hammers it through the back row. Cowgirls cannot keep the serve long, and Algona goes up 21-14. Kill number 8 for Najlee Price.
In the Bulldog lineup, Van Tiger to serve.
Lainey Van Tiger back to serve. Algona up by 7, set number 2. Knuckleball serve, a little short dug by Johnson. Askelson setting it up for Feliciaben. It's blocked to the net. A nice save though by Johnson. And a second block. Oh, Najlee Price blocked it over the net. Feliciaben is trying to sneak that second contact over the net with her back to the net, but Price was not fooled and she rejected it. 22-14 in favor of Algona. End over end serve goes to Johnson. Askelson back setting, left-handed attack by Jackson, diving dig by Algona, and Haynes able to push it back over the net. Askelson setting it up to Friesleben, tries again, long attack. Oh, but that must have been tipped. Yeah, it was tipped. Someone at the Bulldog net got a finger on that one as it goes out of bounds, and it's 22-14. Or check that, 22-15 as the Cowgirls tack on a point. Lions comes into the Cowgirl lineup to serve. 22-15 Algona here. Lions a couple steps towards the near side of the service area. Sends a knuckleball to Van Tiger. Good pass to Schmidt. Big hammer by Price. Oh, and hit Johnson in the face, and a point for Algona. Absolutely nothing Johnson could do there. That ball came at 100 miles per hour off of Price's hands and just took out the nose of Indy Johnson. She's all right, but maybe a little embarrassed, but nothing to be embarrassed about there. That was just the ball catching you as Najlee Price gets a big-time kill and makes it 23-15 Algona. Jensen serves into the back row. Johnson digs. The back set by Friesleben, pushed over the net by Askelson. Bulldogs save it. It's straight up in the air, and Price able to hook it over the net. Now can the Cowgirls set up another attack? Friesleben attacks, but it's blocked. Najlee Price taking over the second set. 24-15 Algona. Set point, trying to go up 2-0 against Clarion Goldfield Dows, the defending conference champions. Here is Jensen. Line drive, serve into the back row. Askelson up to Friesleben. In the middle, it's Blair Askelson. Her attack doesn't go down as Jensen makes initial contact. Here's Haynes, the huge swing, but the Cowgirls stave it off. Ball's into the net, though, and a point for Algona. Bulldogs are up 2-0 inside their home gymnasium. That ball went into the net. Cowgirls couldn't dig it off the net, and they are in big, big trouble. It is 2-0 Algona, winning the first set 25-19, and the second set 25-15. Can Algona get the clean sweep? We will find out next here on Hometown Radio, KLGA.
High school sports on Hometown and Home Country Radio are brought to you by these fine sports club members.
American Glass. For all your glass needs, think American.
Farm Bureau Financial Agents Dave Beisch, Jason Brace, Daniel Foth, and Michael Tull.
Chemco Tires. They're all you need to know about tires and service.
Weichert Realtors, the 515 Agency, a fresh approach to real estate.
Feed Mill Coffee Company, where community connects.
Iowa Lakes Community College, your community, your college.
Lusher Family Dentistry, serving your family since 1965 on Call Street in Algona.
PMC Advantage Insurance Services, insuring our neighbors for over 80 years.
Walker Chiropractic and Wellness, caring for Algona, Sway City, and the surrounding areas with chiropractic, nutritional, and physical therapy services.
Thank you to these sports club members bringing you this game on Hometown and Home Country Radio. We've got more sports club members making this broadcast possible on Hometown and Home Country Radio.
Reeves Wicked Good Bar and Grill. For wicked good food, drinks, and service, you gotta go to Reeves.
CB Grain Solutions, satisfaction guaranteed.
New Way K&H Co-op, delivering exceptional value through knowledge and innovation.
Dump it. They do the dirty work so you don't have to.
Albert Electric. Flip the switch to Albert Electric.
Grassmasters, growing satisfied customers.
Greg Penning and Company, certified public accountants, where everyone counts.
Yemlin Builders and Apartments, quality apartments for rent, beauty and craftsmanship that will never go out of style.
Daylight Donuts, open early with delicious donuts and great coffee.
All sponsors of this game broadcast.
Set free, about to get underway as Indy Johnson is back to serve. The Clarion Goldfield Dows Cowgirls with their back against the wall as the Algona Bulldogs lead 2-0. Initial attack by McLaughlin, pulls it left, and it's 1-0 Clarion Goldfield Dows. Clarion Goldfield Dows has won the North Central 3 of the last 4 years outright, but they would be eliminated from conference title contention if they lost tonight against Algona as Indy Johnson serves the back row, and there's an ace. Miscommunication, Van Tiger and Knapp almost ran into each other, then they pulled back at the last minute and the ball went in between them. Indy Johnson, arguably the best server for Clarion Goldfield Dows, 32 aces coming into tonight, second in the North Central as she picks up one right there. Approaching from deep, serving to the back row, Van Tiger pops it up in the air, Jensen comes to get it, and Haynes plays the free ball into the center of the Cowgirl defense. Friesleben setting up Ennis. Ennis the right-handed swing, diving dig though by Jensen for Algona, and now the free ball over the net by Lauren McLaughlin. Cowgirls will back set here. Askelson the attack. The block by Algona, but it's blocked out of bounds. Reagan Haynes tried to block it, and it's out of bounds to the near side to make it 3-0 Clarion Goldfield Dows. And that is how you start set number 3 when Algona is up 2-0, feeling good about themselves and trying to end it quick tonight. Oh, and a service there by Andy Johnson. Sends a knuckleball directly into the net that time and gives Algona their first point of set number 3. 3-1 in favor of Clarion Goldfield Dows. Algona took the first set 25-19 and the second 25-15. Bulldogs have been the better team so far tonight, but Cowgirls are not going to go down easy here in the third set as Askelson puts it over on second contact. Right to Van Otterloo. The hammer by McLaughlin on the point. Nice job by Lauren McLaughlin. She loves to set up in the center of that front row, contort her body, trying to turn it a little bit, and use that momentum to pull the ball to the left, and was able to get the kill off that to make it 3-2. Algona still down by 1 as Van Otterloo serves. Askelson back sets, leaning back Kirstein, hits into the back row of the Bulldogs. His nap is right there. Here's Haynes, cross-court attack, and Haynes with a big-time finish. Lions could not dig out that in the back row, and we are tied up at 3. 3 consecutive points for Algona after the Cowgirls got the initial 3 in this third set. Algona trying for their first conference title since 2010. Tonight, a big puzzle piece in that. as the Bulldogs are leading by 1 in the conference with 2 conference matches left. Here's the set by Jensen, the near side attack by McLaughlin, blocked, but she's able to push it back over. Johnson near side for the Cowgirls to Askelson, hits it cross court over to Knapp. Jensen setting it up, McLaughlin bumping it over the net, down the line, far side of the court. Friesleben finding Ennis. Ennis hammers but can't put it down. McLaughlin got the tip of the net, and Van Tiger attacks the other way. Pushed back by the Cowgirls, though. They were able to stave off that one. Knapp up in the air to Haynes. Haynes' big attack doesn't go down. Good dig by Wines in the back row for the Cowgirls. Kirstein's the miss hit. It's just on the tape and bounces over to Algona, but Van Tiger punches it back to the back row of Clarion Goldfield Dows. Askelson attacking into the back row, finds the red line. Point for Clarion Goldfield Dows, 4-3. We have seen a lot of great volleys tonight, and that was one of the better ones, but Askelson gets the kill, and the Cowgirls break up the 3-0 Algona run. Now the serve by Kirstein. Into the back row to Knapp. Short set to McLaughlin. Her attack is going out of bounds towards the right side. Good set by Jensen, but McLaughlin guiding that one a little bit too far over to the right side. And the Cowgirls get a couple points in a row here to answer the Bulldogs and go up 5-3. Kirstein again, low serve. Nice dig by Knapp in the back row. Van Tiger attacks, it's blocked. Ball's up in the air, back to the Algona side. Now Haynes attacking, hammers it into the net though, and a point for Clarion Goldfield Dows. Occasionally you'll see Ryan Haynes set up for that attack. Just try to do a little too much there. That was a full body swing. Bring the arm back 180, twist the whole body, and try to go for the hardest kill you can possibly get. If you hit that at 90 or 95%, it might be just as effective. But instead, it's 6-3, Clarion Goldfield Dows. Left-handed attack, Jackson, blocked back by Algona for a point. Van Tiger and McLaughlin combining on that one, and it's 6-4. Clarion Goldfield Dows on top, but Algona gets a point, and they get the serve back.
Cantu. Number 3, Schmidt in for the Bulldogs.
Cantu in for Algona, Schmidt in as well. And Schmidt is serving down to our right. Algona down 6-4 here in the third set. Schmidt serves backward to Johnson. Askelson setting up to Ennis. Ennis, the push towards the Algona back row. Schmidt makes a nice play on the ball. And now Van Tiger will hit it cross court back to the other side. Johnson up to Friesleben, finds Askelson, right-handed swing, doesn't go down. It's batted out of bounds though, and a point for Clarion Goldfield Dows. Things got a little congested there in the front row for Algona, Schmidt and Cantu getting twisted up. And it's 7-4 in favor of Clarion Goldfield Dows in set number 3. The serve heading towards the back row. Oh, and there's a point for the Cowgirls. The Bulldog team was yelling out at Knapp, but she didn't hear them. And the point goes to the Cowgirls. I think they're right. That one wouldn't have been out by much, but I do believe that would have been out if Knapp had let that one go. 8-4 Cowgirls. Askelson serves. It's a low-line drive. Van Tiger, a nice initial pass. Finds Schmidt, sets McLaughlin. Cross-court attack doesn't go down as Askelson digs it out, and Ennis puts the second contact over the net. Schmidt for Algona, sets McLaughlin. Backcourt attack, and it's just out of bounds. She missed that back corner. Not by much, but she did miss it. And it's 9-5 Clarion Goldfield Dows in control here in set number 3 early on. Those Bulldog attacks just are not staying in here in this third set. Schmidt, short set to Van Tiger in the center. Ball sits on the tape, goes back to Algona. And it's pushed over by McLaughlin. Down the line to Johnson. Front row to Askelson. Ennis attacks. Big swing, and she put it down. 10-4 Clarion Goldfield Dows. Algona could probably use a timeout here, and they are going to take it. Timeout by Algona. We'll take a quick timeout as well and come back after this on KLGA 92.7.
High school sports on Hometown and Home Country Radio are brought to you by these fine sports club members.
Farmers State Bank is proud to be part of our community. Offices in Algona, Whittemore, and West Bend.
Stroman Dental, giving you something to smile about.
Phil's Auto and Truck Repair. Service is the difference.
Trend Salon, your complete family hair salon. It's all about you.
Oakcrest Funeral Services, celebrating a life lived.
Algona Frame and Auto Body, we meet by accident.
Water Connection, from softeners to bottled water and service, call 295-SOFT.
Algona Pizza Ranch, there's so much to love.
Cotton Grave Farm Management and Land Realty in downtown Algona, trusted for farmland service needs since 1960.
Sponsoring this broadcast on Hometown and Home Country Radio.
As we come back, it's Clarion Goldfield Dows 10 and Algona 4, set number 3. Van Tiger pushes the ball over the net, back to the Cowgirl side. Askelson back setting, left-handed attack by Jackson, and it finds the mark. Kennedy Jackson keeping that one just inside the paint in the back corner far side, and it's 11-4 Clarion Goldfield Dows. And that is the difference here in set number 3. The Bulldogs have had some wayward attacks, landing out of bounds, even if just missing, and the Cowgirls are seeming to find that boundary just perfectly. And now here's an ace. 12-4 Clarion Goldfield Dows. Askelson with another ace. She's had a few of those so far tonight. And the Cowgirls dominating so far in the third set. This is how you respond when you go down 2-0. End over end serve back to Van Tiger. Schmidt dumps it over on second contact. Oh, and a perfect decision by Paige Schmidt. The Cowgirls were not ready for that.
For the Dogs.
Paige Schmidt, big time kill for Alona, makes it 12-5. Bulldogs desperately needed that. And now they get Macy Knapp to serve. Knapp rocket into the back row. Initial contact by Askvig and pushed over by the Cowgirls down the line. Schmidt gets it to Knapp. Near side Van Tiger. Cross-court attack finds Johnson forward the Cowgirls. Askelson chasing down that pass, and it's hit over by Johnson, and Johnson found the back corner. 13-5 Clarion Goldfield Dows. They didn't let Algona have that for long. And they knock Macy Knapp off the line, get the serve back themselves as Elliot Ennis heads back.
Serving.
Ennis, the big-time front row player for the Cowgirls, picking up a lot of blocks so far tonight. Serves towards Van Otterloo. That pass guides Schmidt out of bounds, but got it to Van Tiger. Van Tiger's attack tipped a couple of times. Cowgirls have to get it over on this one, and they do. Schmidt, the sliding dig, finds Knapp. Now near side Van Tiger. Sends it into the back row of the Cowgirls. Ball is near the ceiling. They'll get the ball back in the center of the court and get the free ball back to Algona down to our right. Schmidt setting it up. Here comes Price. Price guides it over, and a big point for Algona. 13-6. Clarion Goldfield Dows on top on the set third, or in the third set, that is. As Najlee Price picks up her 10th kill of the night. Saw the block attempt coming in the middle. Saw the far side of the court, front row, pretty wide open. And landed it perfectly right in there as Van Tiger serves. Askelson setting up, Friesleben tipping it over, and Paige Schmidt making initial contact for Algona. Here's Haynes, mis-hitting it into the net. Reagan Haynes a little off target, maybe on the jump that time, and it's 14-6 Clarion Goldfield Dows.
Number 7, Christine Lyons to serve.
Lyons is in to serve right now. Lyons, low serve, almost an ace, but dug by Knapp. Deflected it sideways to Cantu, and it's pushed over the net by Van Tiger. Askelson setting up for Kirstein. The big swing, but it's a little bit too big. Ball's out of bounds. Point for the Bulldogs. Make it 14-7 right now.
Number 4, Jensen. Number 2, Haynes. Jensen.
So Bulldogs
to serve.
get the serve back. They have Jensen here, but right now Clarion Goldfield Dows doubling up Algona in the third set, 14-7. Algona up 2-0 as it's a twisting serve towards Johnson in the back row. Dumped over on second contact by Friesleben, and tapped back over by Algona's Haynes. Into the front row, Askelson, back setting it, Friesleben. Big right-handed swing, she kept it inside that line. Right down the line along the near side. Friesleben gets the point, and it's 15-7 in favor of Clarion Goldfield Dows. Friesleben had 108 kills coming into tonight. Second to Elliot Ennis on the team. No one else on the Cowgirls with more than 47 besides those two. Service angle towards the far side of Van Tiger, able to dig it out. Price, right-handed attack into the Cowgirl back row. And it's punched into the net. That third touch by Kirstein. She went with just a closed fist, but overhand. Just trying to punch it over, but didn't get much elevation on that ball, and it's 15-8. Algona trailing right now as Price is back to serve. Price lobs it over to the near side of the lines. Passes near the net to Friesleben. Askelson via attack, doesn't go down. Now Jensen setting up Haynes. Haynes at a tough angle hits it into the net. That set led Haynes a little bit too close to the post. And as she was leaning back, just couldn't get the angle on that one. 16-8 Clarion Goldfield Dows, third set. Johnson serving. Took a little off that one, fighting Knapp in the back row. Here's McLaughlin. The two-handed push of the net, and that is perfect. McLaughlin drops it in for a point. 16-9, Bulldogs get one back here, but they are still down right now by 7. So give McLaughlin a kill. She has 5 on the night so far. Van Otterloo, low serve, and there's an ace. Just over the top of the net. That serve found Friesleben in the back row and caught her flat-footed. 16-10 in favor of Clarion Goldfield Downs. Van Otterloo setting up again. And overhand, Friesleben gets the pass off to Askelson up front. Ennis the attack, and Ennis with the kill. 17-10, Clarion Goldfield Dows.
Cowgirl lineup.
And it's along that far side. Able to get that ball right back into the center of the court and get the serve right back for the Cowgirls. Bulldogs have had runs of 6-0 or more in each of the first 2 sets, but the Cowgirls have not allowed that as of yet here in the third set. Kirstein serves, received by Van Otterloo. Jensen near side of Van Tiger, aims to the back row, she got the kill. Able to sneak it past Kirstein. 17-11. Algona right on the fringe here in the third set, but they're going to need a big run, and they're going to need it soon if they want to sweep it tonight.
And 3, Schmidt. Schmidt to serve.
Schmidt serving for Algona. Schmidt walks up, lobs a knuckleball serve over. Nice diving dig by Askvig. Cowgirls get the ball back over the net. Short set Schmidt, missed-time jump by McLaughlin, and miscommunication by Algona. Schmidt was setting up, maybe it was McLaughlin, maybe it was Cantu. They were both kind of in the front row, and McLaughlin jumped like she was going to attack that one and then got out of the way at the last minute like someone else was coming to get that one. And now a point for the Cowgirls. Off the serve, the Bulldogs deflected that ball up into the basketball hoop and shot back down. And everything going the Cowgirls' way here in the third set. They are keeping a hard grip on this third set, up 19-11. Schmidt setting up Van Tiger, and it's blocked. Oh, Ennis over the block and struts away from the net as she makes it 20-11. Cowgirls 5 away from forcing a fourth set, and Algona will call a timeout. Well, this Bulldog crowd is partying after the first 2 sets, 25-19 and 25-15, both in favor of Algona, but this is a experienced Clarion Goldfield Dows team. They're not going to go down that easy if their conference title hopes on the line. Like we said earlier, Cowgirls would be eliminated from conference title contention if a loss tonight. Algona would clinch at least a share of the North Central with a win tonight. Cowgirls only have 2 matches left. Their only NCC match left is against Webster City on October 12th. They also visit a top of Iowa West team with Gardner Haven Ventura on October 10th. And then after that, they open up the postseason Class 3A Region 2 play at Southeast Valley on October 17th. As you mentioned, Algona has a crosstown volleyball match against Bishop Garrigan on Tuesday. Been a long time since we've had a crosstown volleyball match, but that will happen on Tuesday. Then Algona will visit Humboldt on Thursday. And like we said, Algona can control their own destiny. They will have the outright conference title for the first time since 2010 if they win tonight and then beat Humboldt on Thursday night. But easier said than done. Cowgirls and the Wildcats consistently 2 of the best teams in the conference. And just 1 game behind Algona in the standings. Askelson for the serve, Askelson at the ace. Cantu made initial contact, but had to turn sideways, and that ball just went all the way backwards over to the padding on the Algona side. And that's 21-11 at Clarion Goldfield Dows. Askelson again. Serve goes to Van Tiger. Schmidt near side to Cantu. Her attack is lifted, and it's out of bounds. 22-11, Clarion Goldfield Dows. 3 points away here from closing out an absolutely stifling third set. Askelson towards the back row, and that one's off the hands of Van Otterloo and out of bounds. Algona starting to get very sloppy here at the end of the third set. Cowgirls picking up a couple of aces and 2 points away from forcing set number 4. Askelson again, low line drive this time. Van Otterloo gets up to Schmidt, puts it over on second contact. Cowgirls ready for it though. Here's Ennis, the 2-handed push over the net. Diving dig by Schmidt, tapped back over by Ennis. Bulldogs get the push by Van Otterloo into the center of the Cowgirl defense. And now they'll set up an attack. Left-handed by Jackson, doesn't go down. Bulldogs get it back over to the Cowgirl back row. Cowgirls 1 or 2 hits, they won't get it though. And now the Bulldogs have it set up. Van Tiger hits it across the way and she got it. Point for Algona. Boy, the Cowgirls are screaming for 2 hits right now. Their coach is halfway out onto the court, talking to the near side official, but they're not going to get that call, and it's 23-12.
Just a reminder.
Knapp is back to serve. It's into the back row. Far side free, so her attack is long and out of bounds, and it's a point to make it 23-13. And the PA announcer just made an announcement reminding the crowd to show good sportsmanship. Well, they always do those PSAs before every match about not arguing with the referees and showing good sportsmanship, and I don't think that timing was a coincidence to remind people of that announcement. Bulldogs have it on their side right now. Knapp to Van Tiger, pushed over the net towards the back corner. Johnson lunging for it. Got it off to Askelson, now Friesleben for the push back to the Algona side. Schmidt deflecting it to Knapp. Guiding Van Tiger near the net, bumps it over back to the Cowgirls. Askelson setting it up. Ennis, the right-handed swing, it's blocked back. Tipped over to Algona, now Price. Sending it back over to the Cowgirl side. This is turning into a long volley here as Friesleben hammers, but it's too long. No, check that, it was tipped. It was too long, but it was touched by Algona, and it's set point for Clarion Goldfield Dows, 24-13 in set number 3. And Ennis, the junior, back to serve for set point. Here's Ennis, low knuckleball, sliding dig by Van Otterloo. Price hits it into the net, and the Cowgirls survive. We will have a set number 4 here at the Bulldog High School Gymnasium, 25-13, an absolutely dominating third set by Clarion Goldfield Dows. Back with more volleyball action after this on Hometown Radio, KLGA.
High school sports on Hometown and Home Country Radio are brought to you by these fine sports club members.
Farmer State Bank is proud to be part of our community. Offices in Algona, Whittemore, and West Bend.
Stroman Dental, giving you something to smile about.
Phil's Auto and Truck Repair. Service is the difference.
Friends Salon, your complete family hair salon. It's all about you.
Oakcrest Funeral Services. Celebrating a life lived.
Algona Frame and Auto Body. We meet by accident.
Water Connection. From softeners to bottled water and service, call 295-SOFT.
Algona Pizza Ranch. There's so much to love.
Cotton Grave Farm Management and Land Realty in downtown Algona. Trusted for farmland service needs since 1960.
Sponsoring this broadcast on Hometown and Home Country Radio. We've got more sports club members making this broadcast possible on Hometown and Home Country Radio.
Reeves Wicked Good Bar and Grill. For wicked good food, drinks, and service, you gotta go to Reeves.
CB Grain Solutions, satisfaction guaranteed.
New Way K&H Co-op, delivering exceptional value through knowledge and innovation.
Dump it. They do the dirty work so you don't have to.
Albert Electric. Flip the switch to Albert Electric.
Grassmasters, growing satisfied customers.
Greg Penning and Company, certified public accountants, where everyone counts.
Yemlin Builders and Apartments, quality apartments for rent, beauty and craftsmanship that will never go out of style.
Daylight Donuts, open early with delicious donuts and great coffee.
All sponsors of this game broadcast.
Casey Van Otterloo serving for Algona as we begin the fourth set. It's 2-1 in favor of Algona right now as the Cowgirls win an absolutely dominating third set, 25-13. Van Tiger attacks for Algona, can't put it down though as the ball got tipped to the net. Johnson gets it over to the near side to Askelson. Huge swing in the kill. Pounded that right through the Bulldog back row. And the Cowgirls draw first blood in set number 4 and go up 1-0. 25-19 Algona in the first set, 25-15 Algona in the second set, and 25-13 Cowgirls in the third set. Staving off conference elimination as Kirstein is back to serve. Jensen near side of Van Tiger. She hammers, but it's blocked. Elliott Ennis with another rejection. She is piling those up tonight. And it is 2-0 in favor of Clarion Goldfield Dows. That's got to be 5 or 6 blocks at this point by Ennis. As Kirstein sends a twisting serve back over to Van Otterloo. Here's the push by Ryan Haynes back to the Cowgirl side. Tipped over on second contact by Clarion Goldfield Downs. Bulldogs ready. McLaughlin attacks. Dug low by Johnson in the back row for the Cowgirls. Now Askelson, the big hammer. Dug by Van Otterloo, a nice dig. Jensen near side of Van Tiger. Hits it cross court and gets the kill. Look out over on that crowd. That ball shot into the stands and nearly decapitated the people in the front row. But Laney Van Tiger gets the kill. And Bulldogs have their first point of the fourth set. 2-1 Clarion Goldfield Downs as the Bulldogs will serve for the first time here.
Schmitty to serve.
The Bulldog junior Paige Schmidt right now back to serve down to our right. As Schmidt serves it a little short, and that is going to be an ace. Lions, or check that, not Lions, but Askvig in the back row along the near side. Kind of got the feet stuck in the mud that time. Tried to fall forward and dig that as she was going down, but had a little more time to take a step or two up to try to receive that. They target her again in the back row. This time she gets up, and the Cowgirls get the push off over the net. It's blocked back by Algona, but the Cowgirls keep it alive, but they cannot get it over from behind the attack line. Friesleben hits that one into the net, and it's 3-2 in favor of Algona. So 3-2 Algona. Here's Schmidt. Schmidt serves it into the center to Johnson. Askelson back setting for Ennis. Ennis with a two-hand push to Knapp in the Algona back row. Here's the setup by Schmidt. The attack by McLaughlin. Cowgirls able to play it off, though, as Askelson comes the other way. Her hit is too far, though. It's out of bounds. And Algona gets a 4-2 lead here in the fourth set. 4 points in a row by Algona. Trying to close it out in 4. As Schmidt serves a little short. Oh, it's off the tape and it goes over. Fortuitous bounce for the Algona Bulldogs. That ball hit directly on that white tape. And the net sagged it down and just dropped it onto the Cowgirl side. 5-2 Bulldogs. That is not the kind of bounce they got in set number 3. That is for sure. As Askelson dumps it over on second contact. Nice dig Van Otterloo for Algona. Now Van Tiger attacks the other way into the Cowgirl back row. They're able to stop the attack. Askelson gets it back over to Algona. Knapp to Van Tiger, the two-handed push over the block attempt. Ball's deflected backwards towards Johnson in the back row. And now near side, left-handed attack Jackson. Can't put it down, though. Schmidt to Van Tiger. Her attack is blocked. That is Elliott Ennis again. And that'll make it 5-3. Cowgirls get a point back. They are down by 2 right now. Here's Askelson to serve. End over end towards Van Otterloo, far side of the court. Her pass guides Schmidt out of bounds. Got it back to Van Otterloo, though. And she gets the push off back to the Cowgirl side. Ennis attacks, blocked by McLaughlin. And the Cowgirls will not get this back over. Lauren McLaughlin, 6'2" in that front row for the Bulldogs. Didn't have to jump a whole lot to block that one. Just got the hands up. And makes it 6-3 in favor of Algona as McLaughlin checks out, gets some high fives along the Algona bench. Knapp jump serves, it's a rocket into the back row. Good pass though up to Askelson, back sets for Ennis. Her attack is going to find the mark. Knapp almost had a diving dig, but that ball deflected sideways. No one could flag it down for Algona. Cowgirls staying close here early, 6-4 in favor of Algona, set number 4. Now Ennis back to serve. End over end serve directly to Knapp in the center of the Bulldog back row. Deep attack by Van Otterloo. This ball's deflected sideways. It's going out of bounds, and Algona will get a point. Casey Van Otterloo will get that point. 7-4 in favor of Algona. As Reagan Haynes goes into the front row. Van Tiger steps back to serve for Algona. Johnson receives the serve. Askelson, short set, tipped over by Friesleben. Bulldogs keep it alive. Now here's Haynes, the big hammer on the finish. Reagan Haynes with the kill, 7-4 Algona. The Algona freshman puts one on the board. First kill, actually make that second kill of the night for her, and it's 8-4. Bulldogs doubling up the Cowgirls. Van Tiger serve comes far side to Askvig. Now the attack is misguided by Ella Engstrom, and a point for Algona. 4 hits by the Cowgirls. Engstrom didn't quite get enough trajectory on that one, and Algona's up 9-4. Set number 4, 9-4 Algona. Van Tiger serving. Targets it towards the far side, and that one's way out of bounds. Tried to be a little too perfect that time and hit that a little bit too much up the side of the hand, it appeared, as that ball missed by a few feet. And the service there, rare one by Van Tiger, makes it 9-5. She's had 2 service errors so far tonight. Only had 5 of those total coming into tonight on the season. Van Tiger receives the serve. The Bulldogs set up Price for an attack. Ball is hit, but it's heading out of bounds. The Lions couldn't keep it between the posts, and it's 10-5 in favor of Algona. Bulldogs will sub in here and get Andy Jensen back to serve. Haynes into the front row for Algona. Both Hayneses are up there as well as Najlee Price. Jensen serves in the back row. Lions got the pass off up front. Tipped into the net, though. Friesleben was just trying to tap it over lightly with that offhand and could not find the mark. A little bit too low on that tip. Balls into the net. And a timeout called by Clarion Goldfield Dows with Algona up 11-5 here in set number 4. So Algona taking the first 2 sets. Cowgirls taking the third set. Looked absolutely dominant. Bulldogs never really got in gear in the third set. A lot of attacks just hit out of bounds, so a lot of attack errors for Algona, a lot of near misses. The Cowgirls just kept finding that back corner of the Algona defense, but this time Algona has had a few good serves. Cowgirls have had trouble getting that initial pass in a good spot. Bulldogs usually like to pick out who they want to target in the back row, and they go to the same spot time after time. They've found their target in the back row right now, and the Cowgirls have not had a lot of good passes off that initial contact here in this set. So that offense is really never getting set up properly for the Cowgirls. So they're trying to make some adjustments in the timeout. Algona has Jensen in the service area right now, awaiting the serving opportunity. Speaking of Algona, big rivalry game tomorrow night. Algona and Humboldt in the Bulldog High School Football Stadium. as Brian Wilson and Todd Van Otterloo have the call on that one. Pre-game at 6 o'clock, kickoff time at 7. Algona trying to snap a 3-game losing streak to Humboldt. Tough loss last week against Clear Lake as we get back to it here. Knapp getting it up to Haynes. Haynes, the right-handed hammer for Algona, and she'll get a point. That Lions pass to the front row went to a very vacated spot, and it is 12-5 Algona right now. This set almost a mirror image of what the third set was. Bulldogs are staying in control. Cowgirls tip it over on second contact. Van Tiger ready for it. Now Price tried to hammer it, but she guided it into the net. Price trying to just get a little bit too fine at that one. Doesn't miss a whole lot of those, but that'll give Cowgirls a point here, 12-6. Friesleben back to serve. The Cowgirls senior wearing jersey number 10. 25 aces coming into tonight, 5th in the North Central. And Bulldogs able to somehow keep that second contact between the posts as Jensen was guiding out of bounds, but got the free ball over the net. Jensen up front, sets her Price. Price the hammer. Ball's deflected several times, and it will stay on the Cowgirl side. Lift is called. Point by Najee Price. Give her another kill. Give Algona a 13-6 lead. And Najee Price now back to serve. 11 kills on the scoreboard for the Algona senior. She'll jump serve it. It's coming near side to Lions. That ball's going backwards. That ball's near the ceiling. And the Cowgirls get the free ball off. They did a nice job just saving that one. Van Tiger overpasses back to the Cowgirl side, but they're kind of out of position. They're scrambling here as Friesleben hammers it into the back row. Initial contact by Jensen. Price back to Jensen. Jensen free ball. Just got it over the tape. Back to the Cowgirl side. Now Askelson hammers it into the net. And a point by Algona. 4 hits for Clarion Goldfield Dows. And in the blink of an eye, Algona's up 14-6 right now. 11 points away from knocking the defending conference champion out of title contention. But they're not going to get a point here. Price serves and it's long. Couple feet beyond the baseline in the back row. And it's 14-7 right now.
Johnson serve.
The Cowgirls will call on Indy Johnson here. Johnson delivers the serve. It finds Van Tiger on the Algona defense. Jensen sets it up. The tip over by McLaughlin and a big point. McLaughlin did a nice job, A, avoiding the net, not touching the net, and did a nice job, too, just anticipating the block attempt, getting a little floater over, and making it 15-7. Nice job by Jensen, too, on the set. Came into tonight for 116 assists, picks up one there. Ennis tries to hammer, it's blocked back by Algona. And now the Cowgirls will have to just play a free ball back to the Bulldog side. Knapp passes to Jensen. The hammer by McLaughlin. Ball's deflected backwards. Lions able to save it. And Johnson plays the free ball back to the Algona side. Knapp overpasses. Jensen tried to save it, but a point for Clarion Goldfield Dows as I think Jensen went over the net that time into Cowgirl territory. So 15-8. Not a whole lot Jensen could do there. You don't see a whole lot of overpasses from Knapp, but that was one of them, and the Cowgirls get a point back. 15-8, Algona. Kirstein serving. Dug by Knapp, short set Jensen. Hammer McLaughlin on the point. Lauren McLaughlin having some big moments here in the 4th set, and it is 16-8 Algona right now. Give Lauren McLaughlin 7 kills. The Bulldog Jr. making an impact in that front row as the Bulldogs are doubling up the Cowgirls 16-8. Again, Bulldogs would clinch at least a share of the conference title for win tonight. Have not won or shared the conference title, whether outright or sharing it, since 2010. Here's Schmidt setting it up for Van Tiger. Van Tiger, the big swing, and she puts it down. Oh, hammer that right through the back row, and it's 17-8. Algona is staying in gear here in the 4th set, and they will get the serve with Paige Schmidt back for the Bulldogs. That 2010 season was the 3rd year in a row the Bulldogs went undefeated in North Central play. And the Cowgirls take a timeout. I'll tell you what, Cowgirls use those timeouts pretty liberally in the first couple of sets, but they've waited a long time here in the 4th set to call that timeout and try to break the Algona momentum, and you wonder, maybe too little too late. Bulldogs can't fall asleep, though, here. Cowgirls showed in the 3rd set they're capable of a dominating run, and I'm sure Coach Berkey on the Algona side, down to our right, is telling our team exactly that. Don't fall asleep here. It is not over yet, up 17-8. But by and large, the Bulldogs, they've been the better team here tonight. They've been cleaner. They've had less issues making that initial pass. They've had less service errors than Clarion Goldfield Dows. And just overall, they've been much, much cleaner overall. Again, some rough moments in that 3rd set, but you've got to be impressed with a Bulldog team coming out here against a Cowgirl team that has really had the upper hand in recent years. Helps to be at home as well in front of the friendly hometown folks. That will not be the case 1 week from tonight when Algona heads to Humboldt, one of the more hostile environments the Bulldogs will face in the North Central. And assuming Humboldt doesn't slip up before then, that could determine the North Central winner, whether it would be Algona winning it outright, Algona sharing. Schmidt serving near side as we resume play. Ennis with a two-handed push back to the Algona side. Knapp setting it up. Cantu adjusting, hits it into the back row of the Cowgirls. Johnson getting it up front to Askelson. Hooks the right-hander over the net back to Algona. Schmidt, short set, McLaughlin, and McLaughlin drives it home. McLaughlin grimacing a little bit in the front row. I don't think she really had the angle of attack she wanted that time, but it worked out, and it's 18-8 Algona. Well, that first point coming out of the timeout is a big one. You know, if you're Clarion Goldfield Dows, you go over all the adjustments, you talk about what you want to do, and that's just a crush. You're seeing another point go on the Algona scoreboard right out of that timeout. Schmidt long serve towards Johnson in the back row. Askelson setting it up. Tipped over the net with the offhand by Kennedy Jackson. Now the Bulldogs set up Cantu. Cantu the hammer and Cantu the kill. Cantu makes it 19-8 Algona. Pumped up in that front row for the Bulldogs. They're now 6 points away here. And here's Schmidt. Schmidt, a looping serve towards Johnson. Gets it up front to Askelson. Far side Jackson. Left-handed swing. Bulldogs let it go, but that one stays in. Van Otterloo backed off, let it go through the back row, and that one stayed inside the paint along the baseline. So make it 19-9. Algona leading Clarion Goldfield Dows as Askelson will be back to serve. She's had the most success so far tonight, as well as Kirstein for the Cowgirls as far as serving is concerned. A couple steps toward the near side of that service area. Askelson a rocket off the tape, and it drops in. That's a big ace. And Clarion Goldfield Dows very fortunate that bounce went their way. 19-10, Cowgirls have back down to single digits. Bulldogs up by 9, set number 4, trying to close it out. Askelson again, serves one a little bit higher as it finds Van Otterloo in the back corner. Now McLaughlin attacks, block back. Schmidt able to play it up in the air though. Van Otterloo gets it to Van Tiger, tipped over, block back again, McLaughlin ready. Bulldogs have to get it over on this third try. Oh, and Cantu did it. Yes, she spun it off that tape. Cowgirls were not in bad position that time, but the deflection of the net threw off the timing of that block attempt, and Cantu for a second kill in very short sequence, making it 20-10. Knapp now serving. Here's the push by Ennis back to Algona. Cantu makes initial contact. Schmidt, near side Van Tiger. Van Tiger swings and she puts it down from just inside the attack line near side. 21-10 Algona. They're feeling it here at the Bulldog Gymnasium. Algona riding away from Clarion Goldfield Downs right now. Knapp a long serve, but it's too long. Aiming towards that back corner along the far side. Missed by about a foot, and it's 21-11 as the Cowgirls get one back. But now it's Ennis serving, and Ennis will have to be just about perfect here. Ennis, a knuckleball serve. Finds Van Otterloo. Schmidt near side to Price. Pushed back over to the Cowgirl side. Now Askelson will back set. Tipped over the net by Jackson. Bulldogs ready. Van Tiger attacks cross court. Initial contact made by Askvig. Ball gets back to Algona here. Cantu setting up. Cantu attacks again, and she got it again. Cantu leaps in the air. She's pumped up, and Algona's up 22-11.
Bulldog lineup number 16, Reagan Haynes.
Ashley Cantu with 4 kills, and 3 of them have come within the last few points. Now here's Lainey Van Tiger. Short serve, dug by Johnson in the back row. Askelson to the far side of the court, pushed over by Jackson. Ball's deflected backwards, and the Bulldogs won't get this one back over. That was a valiant diving attempt over there as Van Tiger laid out on the floor right in front of the Bulldogs student section wearing camo down to our right. The Bulldogs can't save that one. And it's 22-12 right now, Algona. Cowgirls will call on lines. It's a twisting serve towards Knapp. Jensen, oh my God, Schmidt sets it up and Price hammers it home. Off the assist by Paige Schmidt, and Najlee Price picks up kill number 12 of the night. 23-12. Bulldogs are 2 points away from eliminating the Cowgirls from conference contention and clinching at least a share of the North Central title. Jensen serving again, spins the ball in her palm, low serve just over the net. Johnson up to Friesland, pushed back over by Johnson, and Johnson finds the open area. Point for Clarion Goldfield Dows, make it 23-13 as the Cowgirls will get the serve back.
Friesland to serve.
It'll be Friesland. Number 10 for the Cowgirls. Friesland serves. Van Tiger Up to Jensen. Here's Price approaching, punching it towards the back row, but got underneath it and lofted it out of bounds. 23-14. Cowgirls have it back down to single digits, but they really can't afford a single slip up here in the waning moments of the fourth set. Friesleben serves. Van Tiger goes down to dig it. Now Haynes along the near side will play the free ball into the back row. Lines up front to Friesleben. Near side, it's Askelson attacking, block back. Cowgirls able to keep it alive. And they'll hit it into the net. Johnson got it to Kirstein, but Kirstein hits the ball into the net. Set point, match point. 24-14 Algona. In this huge North Central showdown, it's Najlee Price serving. Price tees it up to Johnson in the back row. Friesleben setting it up. Askelson far side, hammers cross court. Oh, and she just kept it in. Oh, that was a gutsy attack. She did not go for a safe play. She went for the aggressive attack cross court and just kept it inside the red line. 24-15, Cowgirls will at least get the serve back. And they will have Indy Johnson, their serving aces leader. Johnson approaching, serves the knuckleball, and handcuffs Van Tiger, naps the diving save. McLaughlin free ball back over. Bulldogs able to avoid a point. Here's the tap over by Haynes, and she got the point, and it is over. Cowgirls didn't mean to hit that one to Haynes, but they hit it right to her. Went the soft touch of the net, and the Bulldogs are 5-1 in the North Central. They knock out the Cowgirls from conference contention. Algona has at least a share of the North Central, and they will play for an outright title Thursday night in Humboldt. What a win by this Algona Bulldog team. 25-15, they take it in the fourth set, and they win it 3-1 tonight in front of their home fans. Big time win for Algona. This team has at minimum a share of the North Central title, and again, a chance to win at your heated rival in Humboldt on Thursday night, and a chance to take it outright for the first time since 2010. What a performance by Algona. Again, they were absolutely dominant there down the stretch in the fourth set, and they really put away the Cowgirls and did not give them much hope of getting back into this one. So, quick timeout right now. We'll wrap it up next on Hometown Radio, KLGA.
Thank you to these sports club members bringing you this game on Hometown and Home Country Radio.
Kasuth Regional Health Center. Make KRHC your home for healthcare.
Tom Eischen Sales, your store in the country, carrying steel and Toro products and